Hi, welcome to Cooking with Abba. Today we're going to be smoking some fish. Yes, it's actually simpler than you think. It's easier than you think, and it's even healthier to do it yourself at home. So I'm going to teach you how to make this, and we're going to go shopping first for fish in the international markets. Let me call it like that. So the Turkish is a Turkish international market, African market, everything someday inside. So in Vaasa, yes, you find either Hot Curry or Elo Market. Today we're going into Elo Market. I think one of the videos we shot in Hot Curry as well. So when you go into Elo Market, yes, this is not a paid video, no, but then usually you get quite a lot of African stuff in there as well. And fish is something you get in there as well. You can equally get fish as well in hot curry as well. So, yes, you can get a lot of seafood options in there. So, if you find yourself outside Ghana, you can also still do the smoked fish like we have it in Ghana. This is healthier because there's no oils. This is also healthier because you get to use the fish natural, like oils and all those things. And you can actually like you don't need to add salt, you don't need to add any funny things in there. So I begin by preheating the oven both ways, so up and down is all heating, 200 degrees Celsius. Let it heat up. Then I'm just going to do a simple cutting of it. You're not going to let it thaw. No, if it thaws, it's going to be very soft and then it will be funny when you cut and all those things. So as it's frozen like that, you just have to just cut the tail off if you don't like the tail. But then I'm just going to cut it into like sizable sizes that I like. Yes. So it's up to you. If you do it too small, by the time it's done, it's also all shrinked and all those things. But if you do a slimmer too, it's going to actually finish up easy or quicker for you. So that's virtually all you need. If you buy your fish straight from the seaside or something like in Ghana, you can go and buy fish straight from the shore. Then you don't need to freeze. You just take it into your oven like that. That becomes a good way. But if you find yourself with the only option of being the cold or frozen kind of fish, then all you need to do is actually cut it. Don't let it sit and thaw. No. And special shout outs to my sister Nancy for this video because I remember when I came, I was complaining that the mackerel that was here, it was a bit funny. Like when you fry, the oil becomes very dark and it tastes funny, it smells funny. When you cook it like into stew base and stuff to fresh too, it's kind of funny. Then she was like, why don't I smoke it? I was like, I don't have like the way we do it in Ghana where you put it in they have the smoking something. And she was like, you can actually use your oven. So when you go, just try it in your oven, just preheat it and put it in, just let it do its own stuff. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to try this out. And I really like this. So these days I don't really waste oil because I don't have to fry all of this. And once this is smoked, I can eat it like that with my pepper and my stuff, banku, gari, eba, and all those things. I can use it for my soups. I can use it for my stews. I can use it for gravy, like anything. Like you need fish in, it actually goes in well. So all you need to do is when you're done, just arrange it nicely on your rack, and then we're going to let this go into the oven. Yes, so make sure you are preheating your oven at 200 degrees Celsius. You don't need salt, you don't need anything in there. You don't need anything in there. I repeat, you don't need anything in there. So the rack goes in. You have to put a basin under it, else before you realize the water is going to drip, drip, and mess up your oven. So you just have to be careful about that. Just put a basin under it, then it's just going to do that. And then, yes, this takes a bit of a while. Yes, it can take you not less than 45 1 hour. Yes, because it has to take its time to thaw before it will dry up and firm very well. And depending on how dried you'd want it, you can leave it in for longer. If your fish is not frozen and it's fresh, it's going to take you less time than if it was frozen. Because if it's frozen, the ice will melt, it will drip, 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 drip in there. Please make sure you don't turn or touch the fish so you see it's well kind of firmed up, especially the top base, before you try to actually turn it around. Because you need to bake both side or cook both side to get very good results. And I tried using the tongs, it was messing it up. So I used my hand, and it's easy to do this. Yes, you can just, if it's commercial purposes, put on some gloves or something and use it for it. But this is not the market where sometimes, Ghana and say abronti, people just smoke one part and they leave the other part. But you just have to turn for all the parts to actually do this very well. Personally, I like to do this in the night, like in the evening. Then I leave it in the oven, like to cool down afterwards in the night. So by the time I wake up, it would have been dried and like well, like cool down, shrunk beautifully. And the heat that is in the oven, like when I'm done, it also kind of helps it even in there. But then this day, I didn't really have time. So I just did it instantly. Then I went in to make my soup with it. So that's the next thing we're going to do next week. So yes, this is very helpful. Like it's been a lifesaver for me because health wise, this is less oil consumption. It's also healthier. There's less salt. These days hypertension is on the high rise, and you need to be careful of your salt intake. You need to be careful of what you are eating inside, like the oils, cholesterol, and stuff. So it's very important you go this like kind of way. And there's nothing more safer than you doing this in your own home, in your own kitchen as well. So this is actually easier than you think. Well, any type of fish you want to do, you can actually use, whether it's tilapia, any type of fish you want to do, just apply the same thing to it. And once you see that both sides are well reduced, the core, you realize that the color is all even, all true in the middle, then you know that definitely this is done. You can let it sit and cool down. And then usually I like to put the parchment paper, then I put it into it. Yes, once it's cooled down. So I don't play with my fish head. Everyone who knows me knows I don't play with my fish head. So usually I like to separate those as well. But then one thing about the middle part is that when you are cutting, like I said, you only cut the tail off because that one will chook your things. But then the mid part and things, the head, it still has the gills and all the inside part of the fish. So usually once it's done, then I use the knife to actually remove it gently. Because if you remove this part before you bake it, it can flake your fish or your fish will tear apart and won't look so nice once you're done. So usually you just leave it in to keep it firm. Sometimes what other people too may do is if the fish is fresh, they tend to remove the inside part and they will put some paper in or something. But I feel is safer to just leave the food like the fish whole and then bake it. Once it's done, then you can actually go in to remove the inside parts of it as well. So this is actually way simpler than you thought. I'm sure you've realized it because these days you buy fish and then sometimes you come home and the fish is spoiled. You buy fish and there's so much salt in there. Please be careful of the quantity of salt you're eating, especially if it's from outside. And you can't even predict what type of salt they're using, whether it's just iodinated salt or not. So please, it's very good you check all of these and healthy fats and oils. Like, mackerel has its own enough fish. Most of the fish we have good quantities of oil. So even if you bake it like that, it still has its own oils, which is good in omega-3 and all those ones, which is actually very, very healthy. So I think this is something that everyone has to try at home. Personally, I don't stress myself with frying fish these days. I just smoke my fish, then I use it for my stews, soups, and everything that I need fish in there. And it's saving me a lot of oil as well. Yes, I'm not spending so much on oil as well. And it's giving me like better health as well. So definitely there's a must try. And once again, shout out to my sister. Thank you very much. Yes, there's a beauty about being in the YouTube space. Yes, 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 yes. Anything that I struggle with and I find a solution with, it is your benefit because I come and share with you guys. So I hope you're going to really try this out as well. This food waste, we can dismantle it and then let it go for bio waste. Yes. So once we are done, you just have to package this and then you can use it afterwards. So you can decide to freeze or you can decide to keep it in the fridge. But as you can see, they look very, very, very well cooked, very neat, very nice as well. Won't pay we now pay. If you've watched the video to this point, you've not subscribed, you've not liked, you've not shared to someone, hey, please do the necessary evil. So yes, like I said, the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing soup and I'm going to teach you this special soup base I make, which is also very healthy. And like I said, I don't play with my fish head, especially in my soups. Yes, I love my fish head in the soup. So that usually I do soup base with it. The fish, the mid part and stuff, usually when I'm doing egg stews or garden egg stew or fish stew, those ones, that's when I like it. So you realize that it's smoked, it's well cooked. You can even still feel oil in there, although there's no oil in it. And most importantly, when it comes to the packaging, like don't use graphic. Get some parchment paper, baking paper. Then you can put it in and put it in your Ziploc. Then it goes into your fridge or into your freezer. This is supposed to help clock out the oil or excess oils in there. And you can use this anytime, any day. So till I see in that next food video, do live life to the fullest. Be joyous, be merry. Lots of love for my team and I. Mwah.